This morning, City Council member PG Sittenfeld is here with us this morning. We'll discuss the Harry Black situation in just a bit. But you're here to announce a huge opportunity for students to talk about an issue that so many are interested in, including yourself, and this is gun violence and gun safety. So what's this announcement today?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me in. So we've seen a flurry of activity, I think, energizing, motivating activity from young people, from students across the country around the issue of gun violence, gun safety. Locally, we saw the school walkouts last week. I felt like it was really important that young people feel like they have a captive audience of officials who can actually make policy changes. Today at Cincinnati City Hall, there's going to be considering legislation around bump stock. So tomorrow, Tuesday evening at 6 p.m., young people, students from all across the region, not just the city of Cincinnati, are welcome to come and speak to a collection of school board members, council members, state legislators, university officials, share their fears about the issue of gun violence, offer their own policy remedies, and really, let their voice be heard. Obviously, this coming Saturday is going to be the March for Our Lives. We saw the walkouts last week. We said, how can we make sure we're doing our part to lift up young people's voices? So we're calling it an open mic night for students on a future free from gun violence. All are welcome, 6 p.m., Cincinnati City Hall tomorrow evening. We hope we'll see them there.
It's one of those situations where young people sometimes get kind of hit for not doing enough, and then they did the walkout, and some people said, well, that doesn't do anything. This is an opportunity for them to talk to the people who can make that change.
Yeah, exactly. So, people talk about allowing teachers to have guns in schools. The city of Cincinnati is allowed to ban bump stocks. There are a number of things that even these local bodies and state representatives are able to do to make change. So, look, I think when young people feel passionate about an issue, we should encourage that, give them a forum, give them a platform. And honestly, I personally believe that they have, starting with what we saw in Parkland, but then spreading around the entire country, I think they've changed and redirected the conversation.
We have to discuss what's going on at City Hall.
Sure.
And certainly, and just as TJ just mentioned, you're on board with the other 4 members saying we want Harry Black to stay. From the citizens' perspective, is this relationship between the mayor and the city manager irreparable? If he stays, can this work?
Yes, I mean, that's probably a question for the mayor and the manager. I hope that 2 adults are always capable of reconciliation. I think the issue that's been put before us immediately is, because there's been a falling out in this relationship, is the answer to reach into the taxpayer's pocket and say, taxpayer, these folks can no longer get along, so give us $400,000 of your money for a buyout. I'm a believer that, people can wake up, hit the reset button, but we also believe in due process, right? So if someone wants to accuse the manager of saying, you haven't performed right in this way or in that way, well, it can't just be a he said, she said. So which is why the majority of council has called for an independent, sort of outside, fair, transparent, thoughtful investigation. Let's gather the facts quickly, calmly, and then empower ourselves to make a determination. But the notion that there is sort of personality feuds and therefore the taxpayers should cough up $400,000, $500,000, to me is really offensive to my sense of fiscal responsibility.
And we will find out the vote today, along with the discussion on bump stocks as well. So lots going on.
Lot going on, yeah. Good to see you, bright and early.
You too. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate it. Well, on your screen right now is more information, if you like, about the event tomorrow, the open mic night. It's at City Hall starting at 6 p.m.